The defense policy update is about the North. And the priority that you gave, Minister, to the Arctic. Explain why the Arctic just stood out in all its dimensions as a priority for you and for defense policy for Canada.
One of my big responsibilities as Canada's Minister of National Defence was to step up and be stronger in defending Canada. And the place where we are most vulnerable is in the North. And so is a natural position. First of all, we've got 250,000 kilometers of coastline in this country. And we share the largest maritime border of any country in the world with Russia. And Russia has demonstrated since 2014, and most recently starting in 2022, that they are willing to challenge that rules-based order, that they will take, might makes right for them, and they will take what they want rather than follow the rules that have kept the globe safe for 80 years. And so it really is for us. You're right. We are on the front line. I've gone back to NATO, and frankly, we talk obviously a great deal about the eastern frontier of NATO. Canada is building up a great strength in our job in Latvia to help with European security against Russian aggression. But it was really, I think, really helpful when Finland and Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and others now are united at the NATO table. There's remarkable strength in that, because all of a sudden our Arctic nations, and recognition that the northern frontier is also a place that needs to be secure, and we can do it together. So between the United States and Norway, there's a number of countries that can be united and strong, and we've got the largest geography responsibility there, and we have to step up for it.
We have the largest geography up north, and we are directly across Russia. One statistic I saw, Minister, and you alluded to this, Russia is spending 15 times more on infrastructure in the north than any other Arctic Council member. You talked about infrastructure spending in the north. How are you going to connect the defense infrastructure to the civilian infrastructure? This is a big challenge, frankly.
Actually, first of all, I think it's a great opportunity. It's a challenge as well, but it's a huge opportunity for multi-use infrastructure. I've got to make investments to make sure that we can take our fighter planes. We can practice and operate in the north, that we have to be a more consistent presence for the military. As you said, the Russians have 17 deep water ports there. They have remarkable infrastructure capabilities, and we do not.
We have that.
And well, we have some, but it needs to be built out. I think there's a huge vulnerability, because for a number of years we've just sort of gone along and assumed that everybody would be benign and it would be fine. But those supply chains and the things that we've come to really rely on as a country and as a society and our industries, our adversaries have been working really hard in the past number of years to secure those supply chains. And if we ever got into a situation where they turned them off, we'd be in trouble. And so we've got to step up there. And it's not necessarily in the defensive realm, but it's entirely in the defensive realm, in my opinion. And so I think about that a lot too, because making us strong is not just making sure we've got the right planes and boats and artillery pieces and ammunition. It really is about making us strong as a country, as a society, and all the things that we've come to rely on.